Did you know that the Rubik's Cube operates in cycles? No, not bicycles, I mean cycles. And because of this, there's some really cool things that you can do with the cube that we'll get to later on in the video. But first we have to understand that each move we make on the cube moves pieces around in sort of a loop or a cycle, where each piece bumps out the next one and the next one until it gets back to where it started. So if we do a move like this, let's look at what happens to the edges, not the corners, the edges. By doing a move like this, the piece that was here gets bumped out and goes over to here. And then the edge that was here got bumped out and went to here. And then the edge that was here, which was this one, got bumped out and went to here. And then the edge that was here, which was this one right here, got bumped out and went back to where we started again. So by just doing that right side move, it cycled around the edges. And it works the same for corners as well. And if you do the same move again and again, eventually it will cycle back to how it started, because the trail of pieces that each pushed each other out eventually push their way back to where they started. And this concept goes even deeper, because even when you're doing groups of moves, the cube still operates in cycles. To show this, let's do this sequence of moves on the cube 6 times. So each time we did that group of moves, the pieces moved one step through their cycle. And so each time we did it, pieces were bumped around until they all moved back to their starting positions. And for this group of moves, it only took 6 tries for it to go back to solved. But different groups of moves take completely different number of times you have to do it for it to go back to how it started. And so since any group of moves will eventually bump pieces back around in a cycle until they get back to where they started, I'm going to test that out with this long group of moves and also investigate what happens. And I actually got this group of moves just from my timer, but it actually doesn't matter what group of moves it is, as long as you start with a solved cube and you do it again and again with no mistakes. And spoiler alert, something pretty cool is going to start to happen that I'll point out when it does. So now I'm just going to go ahead and do this scramble again and again, and if I don't mess anything up, then it should get back to solved. So first try. Right, and again. So far I don't really see much happening. We'll keep on going. Maybe there's a bit of a block forming, some pieces getting solved. Oh, and all of our corners are solved. Wow. But now we're gonna do it. But now they're unsolved. So I guess they're just gonna keep cycling around getting solved and unsolved until the edges sort themselves out as well. Oh, so the edges just sorted themselves out. So now I guess we just need to go until the corners and the edges sort themselves out at the same time. It's good signs there. I really don't want to get any moves wrong. Oh, and our corners are solved again. And our edges again, just gotta keep going until they work out. Four corners, come on! If I haven't done something wrong. Oh! Yes, it worked! So, starting with a solved cube, I did this sequence of moves again and again, and eventually everything cycled back to being solved. And I did it! I only had to do the group of moves around 40-ish times until the cube sort of cycled back to how it started, which was solved. And along the way, there were some really interesting things with edge cycles and corner cycles sort of revealing themselves. So why don't you pick up your Rubik's Cube and give it a try yourself? Just make sure you start with a solved cube. Repeat the same set of moves and watch the magic happen. And if you give it a go with a scramble from your timer software, then make sure to let me know in the comments below how many times you had to do it until the cube went back to solved. So good luck, I hope you learned something, and bye!